You're very welcome back to the Daily Rundown with me, Fiona Fox. We were just talking about the High Court ruling with the Labour Party today, and we've moved on to Corbyn, as every single conversation has done, I think, on the Daily Rundown for the last year about we were just kind of talking about the Labour Party itself just before we went into the break, and you know, it's been disappointing really the way it's gone, hasn't it, Mike?
Yeah,
do you think?
I think it's just disgraceful the way that he's been treated. And there was one thing that really struck me, maybe true, maybe not, but do you remember all the criticism he got about Brexit and not supporting all that kind of thing? There was one of his politicians who said, I'm very sorry, but Jeremy worked really, really hard on that campaign. And when I heard that, I thought, maybe he did, but maybe the press just don't, you know, he's not got any, I don't think there's any press with him really. So basically what they're doing is just kind of ignoring him and hoping he'll kind of go away, you know. And when Blair, you know, kind of got in bed with the press and Murdoch and all that and turned the Labour Party into kind of a semi, you know, Tory party, this guy has got no support, nobody, he's not in bed with anybody, and he's like just standing there, and they're all telling him to shut up and put a suit on, and he just carries on doing what he's doing. And as I say, it's not about him as in his policies. It's just a disgraceful way that they've tried to manipulate every level of his leadership.
At every level,
even not allowing him on the ballot paper, which was outrageous, wasn't it?
What do you think? What is it about Jeremy Corbyn though that just it either invokes extreme he invokes extreme passion in everyone, negative and positively, doesn't he? What do you think? What is it about him, Madie, do you think?
Because he has principles, and I think because politics, especially in the mainstream media, has become so right-wing or centrist, depending on how you look at it, that, you know, the fact that he actually has principles and sticks up for what Labour originally was supposed to represent, it doesn't sit right with some people who are in love with the whole Blairite Labour vision, or, you know, it's people who are really thinking about what he's saying and therefore support him. And I'm glad that you said what you said about the press and the media, because they completely are scapegoating him and they are against him, and that bias is in all of the mainstream newspapers, in my opinion. There's
a really funny article going around on Twitter and stuff, which really just made me laugh out loud. And it's lots and lots of Jeremy Corbyn's quotes and what the paper said, and it's really funny. It's kind of like they asked him about taxation and would you tax the rich and stuff like that, and he said, well, I wouldn't really leave any stone unturned. I'd look at everybody and make a fair system. That's what he said. And then the headline in the paper said, watch out, no stone left unturned in taxation from Corbyn. So it was like he was going to go, right, I'm going to get TV presenters, I'm going to get them all, I'll get them all. And every one of these statements was completely twisted. And I think one of the things with him is, and it's been done by other politicians and people, when people start to go at you and you do not kind of attack back, you become, I think that's what people are feeling. We're feeling that he's kind of the victim of an unfair system. That's how I feel. I'm thinking, I might not agree all of your policies, but our political system is wrong, and you have a right to stand as that leader and do a job that we voted for you to do, not what this little group of politicians voted for you to do. You know? And
I'm glad you said, actually, you know, you're not necessarily, you know, #1 Corbyn supporter, because that does seem to be the media answer, isn't it? If you stand up.
It's just not about that. It's about fairness.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel it seems unfair what's happening at the moment in the Labour Party, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Why are they so adamant, do you think, that they want to block members from voting then?
Because they know why those people are joining.
Yeah, they do, and they know what generation they're coming from, and they know also that they're not going to have as much control over the direction the party will go in.
They can't do a damn thing about it. You know, that's the thing.
It's an interesting time, though, isn't it, for to kind of observe and study the Labour Party. I think when we look back on this time, wherever we end up by the end of it. Thanks very much. Let's move on to our next one, guys. It's only day 3 of the Rio Olympic Games, but Britain has already secured its first gold medal. 21-year-old Adam Peaty swam his way to victory in the 100 metres breaststroke, Britain's first win in the men's competition for 28 years. Now, the win was made even more impressive by the fact that Petey's nana told the BBC that the gold medalist was scared of water when he was younger. Minutes later, Jazz Carlin won silver in the women's 400-metre freestyle. So after a disappointing summer of international sport, are you happy now to see Britain actually win something for a change? Thinly veiled dig at the English football team there, in case anybody missed it.
Yeah. As a football fan watching it, I'd already forgotten, but thanks for that.
I'm happy for him as an individual. I think it's amazing what he's done.
It's lovely so early in the competitions as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and the fact that he's only 21.
Yeah.
And everyone loves that kind of story where he was afraid of the water, couldn't swim, didn't want to, and then overcame it to such an extent and just focused on it so much that he achieved his goal.
Amazing, isn't it?
And it was amazing just how quickly he did it, and the fact that it's the breaststroke as well, which is like the hardest.
Yeah, that's supposed to be just you on your holidays, really, isn't it? Doing widths in the holiday swimming pool.
But I mean, he's only swimming. It's not like there's any skill involved. You just swim faster than everybody else. It reminds me of a ridiculous conversation I had this afternoon with my brother when we were talking about, because I was being provocative. And so a lot of these Olympic sports I would get rid of because, they're very childish, like throwing sticks and those disc things and hammers and stuff. That's not any kind of sporting skill, and we need to bring in other sports, that have skill involved, like say darts or
darts. That's an interesting Olympic darts.
There's skill involved in darts, isn't it? Just being able to run faster than somebody else shouldn't be allowed.
I had a similar conversation with my friend today, actually, though. He said his number one hatred is the horse dressage style sports. He's just like, it's not even the person doing it. He said, I think that for a start, it's the animal.
And it's doing as little as possible to win your medal. So really, any of those kind of childish sports. And then there's that one, he was telling me about the hop, skip and a jump thing. That is at school.
Yeah,
that's
is.
Oh yeah, you can jump further than me. Right, hang on, let's do it so that you have to hop, skip and jump.
But that is fun though.
It's fun
to do and fun to watch.
Yeah, but Tough Mudder would be fun, wouldn't it, in the Olympics? If we had
I feel like that would never be fun.
Courses with fire and stuff like that.
Entertain us.
It'd be better than the end the opening ceremony.
I was going to say, how did you feel? Did you watch the opening ceremony this weekend? It was something you sat down to
it. I kind of saw it.
How did you feel? Oh, you messed? Did you not see it?
I did not see it.
It started midnight our time, didn't it? So
I saw a replay.
Die Hard.
Yeah, I was at. I must have watched it Saturday morning. Yeah, because I
was at a wedding.
I was at a wedding, so and it was kind of there on in the background. And what I noticed about these things is that there's always like a commentary, which is essential. Isn't it?
Yeah, oh gosh.
It's like, this represents the indigenous people of blah, blah, blah. And you go, right, okay, well, no way I would have known that. I mean, the worst one, I think, not worst, but do you remember the one at the Commonwealth Games in Manchester? I found that really embarrassing.
The commentary?
No, the whole thing. It was like rain. Manchester was rain, Coronation Street. Remember it? It was like, oh no, don't do that to us. We've worked hard to get these games, and now
you can't get away from rain in Manchester. Come on now.
No, I'm just not.
That's the one thing we're not leaving behind. Would you think? How do you feel about? I mean, obviously, running alongside this is various protests and political protests. We've had some protesters removed during the games as well. I mean, nothing serious inside anyway. Just holding up holding up boards. They want the removal of the president that's there at the moment. How do you feel like this should be allowed, or there has been some criticism with the heavy-handedness of the security? Does political protest ever have a place or ever have a platform in sport, do you think?
You can do it anywhere.
Do you feel, it's freedom of speech?
Absolutely,
freedom of action, the point of a protest is to disrupt something that people are enjoying on a grand scale, because you want the attention to make your point. So any heavy-handedness I don't think is very acceptable at all.
Right, so you feel as long as there's not, because it has been relatively peaceful, I think, up to this point. Do you think it's fine?
Yeah, I think the majority of protests are peaceful.
Yeah,
aren't they? Yeah. And they're still met with heavy-handedness, and that just doesn't make sense.
Plus, in England, don't have to go and apply. Because we don't have protests anymore, do we? You have to sign a form saying, I'm going to be protesting on Tuesday at 5 o'clock and all that kind of thing. Something like that.
It would have been a very kind of polite affair, do you think?
I think so, yeah, because you can have a police officer waiting just sat next to him. They put the banner up, thank you very much, let's go.
I think that might kind of reduce the effect somehow, though.
Well, it does, doesn't
Or
it?
the impact, wouldn't it? I mean, to be fair, there's a lot. I mean, some people feel that there is a lot to be protesting. Obviously, it's corruption and various poverty and that. How do you feel about those issues in light of the Olympics being on there? I mean, it was quite a grand affair. Obviously, there was clearly a lot of money spent on it. Is it a bit gratuitous or?
I think it's always the case. I mean, you know, name any nation that's not going to have its own kind of internal issues.
Yeah.
And I suppose, you know, you've got to live with that, haven't you? They've got, it's fair enough, like you say, for them to protest about whatever the issue is, and it's going to happen. Was it really violent? Like, were they really?
No, it's sort of just they've sort of an equivalent to a National Guard doing security there, so it's a bit of a it's just a little bit more intimidating than just, you know, the ushers running around with what do they have with the purple tops on and when it was here in London.
Was it the swimming while they were doing it? It depends which event.
What they're disrupting. What events are you guys looking forward to? I mean, are the Olympics something that you're happy to sit down and watch, or are you a bit sad that, you know, Coronation Street or EastEnders is going to be kind of put at 10 o'clock in the evening now, Madie?
I'm not really bothered about things like that.
The programmes.
I think it's nice. I think that whole everyone's in it together enjoying something is nice, but at the same time it's a distraction from the real issues, which is why I enjoy it when protests happen, to say, actually, you can't always enjoy yourself. Bad things are happening. Why don't you listen to that?
Yeah.
The short, sharp slap in the face. There's just a little reminder. So are you looking forward to anything over the next few weeks?
You know, I ain't got TV.
Events.
I ain't got TV.
But you're on it.
I haven't, and so
we'll
you know,
listen on the wireless.
The soaps are out, and not particularly. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch any of it. I don't mean I'm, you know, putting it down. Loads of people love all the kind of sports. The cycling's kind of interesting because I'm a big cycling fan, but again, that's another kind of side issue. But I wouldn't go out of my way to get involved in it, you know. But happy days if you do. If you love it, great, you know. But
diving, it has to be the diving, doesn't it? I always like that.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's amazing. Thanks very much, guys. We're going into another break now. We're back in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. We've lots more news.